Mr. Fleay, the only scientist to breed the platypus in captivity, paid full tribute to Harry Burrell, whose great book, The Platypus, was the result of 20 years' difficult field observation. It was dedicated to his wife for... Johnny's next adventure was a visit to Healesville Sanctuary to see Corrie and Jack still alive in captivity. The platypussery, specially designed by Mr. Fleay, had a freshwater tank in which worms and yabbies were placed. The platypus will not eat on dry land. At the back was the earthen bank which Jill built her burrow and nest in late 1943. Leading to the bank were wooden tunnels filled with grass hay. Captive platypuses usually live in these drying tunnels, for they dislike wet fur. David Fleay moved over to one of the tunnels, opened it up, and hey presto! There was Jack, father of Corrie. Jack, one of the largest platypuses known, has been in captivity for the record time of 12 years. The platypus, like its fellow egg-layer, the spiny anteater, has a slow birth rate, but apparently lives a long while. Jack will give scientists their first definite indication about the age of a platypus. Jack loved the water. He closed his eyes and ears and weaved about as he would amongst the snags and mud of a natural stream. Platypuses normally leave their burrows in the evening, swim and feed most of the night, and then hide during the day. But when Jack found there was no food in the pool, he headed back to his dry, comfortable bachelor quarters. He was so persistent, in fact, that David Fleay had to open the front door and let him in. Next door, they saw the sanctuary's most treasured possession, Corrie, daughter of Jack. The keeper treated her affectionately, for she was a lovable little thing. Being bred in captivity, Corrie was not as shy as most platypuses, and so took her time to enter the water. Johnny was thrilled when given a worm to feed Corrie, who was as quick as a flash with her sensitive bill. In their natural state, of course, platypuses nuzzle out worms and yabbies from the mud, then come to the surface to chew them and breathe air. In place of teeth, they have hard plates set in the jaws for chewing and grinding their food. Mr. Fleay also showed Johnny the enemies of the platypus, the common introduced fox, which often kills the young when they first leave the nest and wander over dry land, and carpet snakes, which occasionally kill platypuses. Another enemy is the native water rat or beaver rat, which may sometimes destroy young platypuses before they adapt themselves to the wild. But worst of all are the illegal drum nets set by fishermen. These have accounted for thousands of dead platypuses. They trap the animals underwater and drown them. Now, you've all heard what Johnny has told you about the platypus, and I want you to remember these additional points. The platypus is the world's most primitive mammal. It belongs to the same animal class as man. The platypus and the Australian spiny anteater are the only two egg-laying mammals in the world. Now, the scientific name for platypus is Ornithorhynchus anatinus. That's Greek for a creature with a bill like a duck. As a matter of fact, early settlers used to call it a duck bill. The word platypus means flat-footed. Now, I want you to remember, when you're talking about more than one platypus, say platypuses. Now, I think we just have time to see where the platypus lives. Around here, around Mount Kosciuszko, in the icy streams, in Queensland, in the warmer waters, and in fact, right down through the east coast of New South Wales, into the colder parts of Victoria, and in Tasmania. Now, right here near Melbourne, you'll find Healesville, where Johnny stayed with Mr. Fleay. Now, I want you all to find out more about the platypus for yourselves. These books by Burrell, Troughton, and Fleay will give you all the information you want. And write me a composition about how the platypus can be protected. Remember, bushfires and floods are a great danger. They cause erosion and landslides on the banks of streams where the platypus lives. And we could provide more sanctuaries to protect our wonderful animals. Yes, let's all give that some thought.